July 15, 2019, Monday. My mom went downstairs to hand Miss Turner the copy, but before she went downstairs, my sister said that she wanted to go with my mom downstairs. So I'm like saying to myself, wait, why is it my sister wants to go downstairs with my mom? She never did this before. Why? Why at that time within that event she decides to go downstairs? Why not wait with me? But instead, the multi-agent quantum AI computers made sure that she goes downstairs with my mom, so she won't see what Mr. Jacob, the employment specialist, is about to do. So as soon as she went downstairs, my sister with my mom and Miss Turner, because my mom does not have any authority to go downstairs in the basement without informing the security guards first to unlock the elevator to go to the basement level. So I'm waiting out in the lobby, and all of a sudden I saw Mr. Jacob Humphreys, the employment specialist, coming in. And he mentioned how he mentioned about how are you, Andrew. Then Mr. Jacob, he's a employment specialist. He said here's a fist bump. Now, you're an employment specialist, right? And you're a professional. But he's Hispanic and I'm African American. Now, why a person who's professional would greet the person first and give a handshake. Or you could say handshake and greet the person. But this person, Mr. Jacob Humphreys, the employment specialist for the shelter, wants a fist bump, and this is very unprofessional. I shake my hand and I said I do not want no shit. I just shook my hand because I don't want to take part of this. If you wanna, not only that, the way Mr. Jacob Humphreys was talking to me when I had an appointment with him during May 24, 2019, he was using profanity when he was speaking to me. If you're an employment specialist and you want to show how dedicated you are as an employment specialist, especially when it comes to your reputation, you would refrain from using any profanity while speaking to the person. But in this case, he didn't refrain himself from speaking, such vulgar language. He using strong profanity in the conversation, and it was constantly used while he was speaking to me, especially as me as African American. And he said that to me. He said to me about my email. He complained about my email being inappropriate. And how my email being inappropriate when you're using profanity while you're speaking to me? If you want to convince a person that you're professional and convince a person to take word on what you're saying, you would refrain from using profanity and refrain from showing any personal behavior when you're communicating with the person. Didn't refrain from doing that. So this person does not receive any handshake or anything, or I didn't even look at the person because this person is not taken. I can't take this person seriously. I can't respect Mr. Jacob Humphreys as an employment specialist. I don't consider him as an employment specialist because of the way he behaved is inappropriate. He's communicating with me he's communicating with me not as how his job character is, outside his job character. He doesn't talk as an employment specialist, so I can't take him seriously. Alright, Sasha. So Sasha is an old family member. And during the morning time, me and my mom and my sister was in front of the Link NYC free Wi-Fi. And my sister mentioned that she needs to go to Walgreens in order to purchase her personal items. I said that we can go to the Walgreens at 170, around 175th or 174th Street. We can go there instead after I finished downloading on my smartphone. But my sister became very impatient. So she went with my mom to Walgreens on Jamaica Avenue. But before my mom stopped to Walgreens, instead of stopping to Walgreens, my mom went to Chase Bank first with my sister, and my mom was speaking out very out loud when she's speaking to my sister. And Shasha, which is a cousin from is a relative from my mom's side, had heard my mother voice. And this pattern recalled what my mom did to me when we was on when me and my mom and sister was on the Q113 bus during 2012. I recall my mom saying my name out loud unintentionally, so she can direct that message to one of my classmates who's on my bus. The classmate is uninformed that I'm on the bus until my mom had informed them out loud without realizing it. She didn't realize that those were my classmates on the bus until she said my name out loud. When my sister is the one who came back, informing me that that's what happened. She said that she met. I'm like, why she's informed? What she cares so much that she has to play a messenger. My sister. I'm like, why are you informing me about Shasha? I don't want to hear anything about the family. They're not socially supporting me as a human being. They don't know my situation. My sister plays a messenger, and she's taken her character as a messenger that the artificial intelligence temporarily gave her seriously. So I recall that my mom, when I was in Florida, my mom and me and my sister was in Walmart, and the cashier had said something personal about me, the way I pack up the bag. And then my mom, the artificial intelligence made sure that my mom plays a messenger role, and she indirects that message to me about what the cashier had said to me about the way I packed my bag, and it was personal. So my mom shared more details about Shasha situation. Shasha moved from Florida to New York last year, the same as us. Me and my mom and sister moved from Florida to New York last year. And it shows me how the artificial intelligence is managing Shasha and also managing me and my mom, and not only Shasha, the whole the family itself. So we can meet up. This makes the third time that the artificial intelligence designs scenarios where it can meet up with the family member. The first time was last year. I say it was around it was around like spring going into summer. No, it was around spring 2018 when my mom mentioned that she saw Nikki looking at me and her and another person that we was with. The second time was last year, around December. I'm not too sure if it's early this year. Well, it was last year going on to this January 2019, where my mom said she was at the 99-cent store, and she saw Precious, but Precious didn't recognize her, and my mom barely recognized Precious, and she heard Precious on the phone talking to her mother. But my mom said she was uncertain about if that was actually Precious until she heard the voice of Nikki, who was on the voice, Nikki, who was on the phone. And my mom said that the voice seems familiar, and she said, "Oh, that's Nikki." You see, this is how it played. This is how the artificial intelligence simulates those time and events, because it knew what concept to use at that time to make my mom and Precious go to the store, the 99-cent store. The reason why my mom went to the 99-cent store is because when me and my mom and sister was at Dollar Tree during the weekend. So this was, now I'm memorizing. This was during fall 2018. My mom had mentioned to me about it's my fault that I didn't allow her to memorize about purchasing soap and water. So she had to go to the 99-cent store to purchase liquid hand soap and also toothpaste. She holding me accountable for her actions, my mom. And then my mom had mentioned to me during that Sunday of October 2018, mentioned that my responses are boring. She said that the way I talk is boring her, and I wasn't trying to entertain my mom. I was informing my mom about what she did. Her trying to inform her about her own intentions when she was in the Dollar Tree. And this is the second time that my mom had called my response boring. The first time was when it was during March 2018, when me and my mom and my sister was about to leave Florida, and I told my mom, where exactly are we going to in New York City? And my mom wouldn't respond back to me. Instead, she tells me that she said that I'm boring. My responses are boring. And then I'm repeating the same thing. And then she locked herself in the bathroom with the tablet. So this is two patterns here. First pattern was the voice. Shasha only recognizes my mom because of her voice. My mom, during the time when she was at the 99-cent store, recognizes Precious, Shasha's sister, because she was on the phone. The artificial intelligence made sure that Precious was on her phone with her mother. Talking about what to purchase. And my mom said that she recognizes Nikki's voice. So voice plays a role at memorizing who is who. Not only that Shasha moved to Florida to New York, she also attended Queensborough College, Community College. And I'm trying to attend LaGuardia Community College. You see how well the artificial intelligence does it? This is mocking me. That's why it wants to bring me here. This is how it manages human beings. I've been trying to get into college for such a long time, since 2012. I was supposed to start college in 2010, but I got back 2 times in elementary school. And it made sure to hold me hostage in Kissimmee, Florida, where there's a toy section. Now I'm coming back here. They want me to do 18 months, more like 18 months worth of remedial courses in order to actually get to the course that I need to do in order to get credit for my degree, towards my degree. Now I feel like I'm rushing trying to actually speak because it's 6:40 and my mom might come back. When I was in Kissimmee, Florida, I was able to concentrate on the way I'm speaking. It's just ridiculous living in a shelter this long. So my mom had also mentioned a few days ago that living in this place is making her insane. It shows me her intention that she never intended to actually come here. She never intended to come here and be in a shelter. The artificial intelligence is the one who had that intention that it designed her mind to bring her and me and my sister here to New York City so it can isolate. So she can actually, well, from based on the pattern that I'm getting from the dreams that it showed me, the artificial intelligence mentioned that my mom is gonna die. That was during November 2016, and after that dream, every day my mom kept mentioning that she's gonna die, she's gonna die. The first thing she mentioned when she opened the door during December 2016, she mentioned that she said that she's dying. Then I remember she keep mentioning that she's slowly dying. So I recall a dream where the artificial intelligence shows my mom opening the door, and then she mentioned that about her heart. As a few hours later, she opened the door the way it was shown to me in a dream, and then she mentioned about her heart, the same way it was projected in my dream. So it's patterns that I can actually relate to and show people how the artificial intelligence is managing me. So Tuesday, you can see again, July 16, 2019. When you see me dead, this is my mom phrase. When you see me dead or in the hospital, you better, alright, that's what she said. When you see me dead or in the hospital, and that's it. I'm like, where's the rest of the sentence? So, my mom was talking about police, how there was a guy riding his bike and the officer stopped him on the streets. So I said to my mom, this reminded me of the situation I was in when I was in the subway, how the cops mentioned to me that I can be a terrorist, and then my mom mentioned, you don't understand. My mom said, no, he means, the cop mean that in general, you can be people can be a terrorist in general, but that's incorrect, because the cop's logic is unintentional. That's not from the cop logic. That's fake. The logic of the cops is fake, because before I even get near to the cops, I was a distance away from the cop. All right, the white cop. The white cop was at least 15 walk steps away from me, right? And he's already stepping out, looking at me before I reach 15 spaces away from or towards or away the cop, as if he knows exactly who to talk to, as if someone assigned him at that time an event to engage in an interaction with me, so they can search my bag. It's unauthorized. It's not authorized, because I'm seeing people who's going to school. It's the morning time, right? And there's a lot of school kids passing by, and people who's going to college. I'm seeing them with book bags. If it was authorized, right, to search for people's bags, why not search every person? Why not be in the front and stop every person who's wearing a book bag? Because the cop is only there to profile. That's profiling. It's profiling based on the characteristic criteria of the way the person dressed. So the artificial intelligence clocked that cop there and clock his mind, so he can engage in a conversation with me, so he can expose what's in my book bag, right? And I told him that I don't want him to check my book bag, because I had organized my book bag. I have too much. It takes a long time to organize my book bag. So he mentioned that I cannot use this station. He said go to another station. If you want to go take a train, you gotta go to another station rather than this station. The cop stopped me. The artificial intelligence made the cop stop me, and made the cop use a logic that's incorrect. Because if that's the case about people in general, You said that anyone could be a terrorist in general, right? But you just want to search my book bag. But I'm seeing all the people passing by me with a book bag. That means that's unauthorized. And he wants to find the artificial intelligence is making the cops find specific people that actually meet the criteria of the image of how a terrorist should look like. So he can search them. My mom mentioned you better get that. She said it in an angry voice. You better get that out of your brain. You mean anyone could be a terrorist in general? But if that's the case, if anyone can be a terrorist in general, so that means every person with a book bag walking past me can also be a terrorist, because he wants the intention of the cop there stopping me is to search my book bag. So why is it that he's only searching one person's book bag instead of the rest of the people? It's unauthorized. That's more like that's profiling a person. You're already judging the character of the person and you don't even know them. My mom talks about staying in Florida and having a few more years left. July 17, 2019, Wednesday, showing me chat and dreams with username writing words. Hold on for a second. Alright, I'm back. Monday, July 22nd, 2019. A lady asks, this gynae lady asks my sister if she knows what time Gap opens. Instead of asking me, she went straight to my sister instead. Then afterwards, there was another gynae lady who stopped in front of her and mentioned, "Oh, I know you." The next one was Roosevelt Station with the escalator going up. So when me and my mom and sister, my mom, when we took the train, the F train, so we went to 169 station, and she went to the first entrance. So instead of taking the train, instead of going in the back, we went in the front, all the way in the front to wait for the train. And as soon as we got off at Roosevelt Station, and we were trying to find a 7 train, I said to myself, this felt like it happened before. So it was during January 2019. The multi-agent quantum AI computer showed me a maze where it showed me escalators going up, and it showed me and my mom and sister going towards up. We were going up. Looks like we were taking either stairs or it's like a maze. And this is how Roosevelt Station is for when it comes to taking the 7 train. And it's showing me July 22nd, 2019. When I look at my smartphone to check the major, alright, so you have to go to, I recall me and my mom, we went to the C building and we went to get financial aid assistance, and the lady mentioned that we had to go to a room in the first floor, and the lady in the first floor mentioned that everything's okay with my tap. So the lady mentioned that we had to go to building B for registration. So I recall going in a room, right, in building B. Before I even got inside building B, my mom, while walking into building B with my mom and sister, I feel like it happened before. Like I've been in this building before. I'm looking at it and I'm saying, wait, I feel like this happened before. I said to myself, okay, this artificial intelligence is remapping my environment. It specifically remapped that time and event just for me. I'm walking in like it happened before. I said that I've been in this building before. But and then I'm saying, wait, but this is the first time I'm walking in the building. Why is it that my memory is telling me that I've been here before? It's my memory. It's telling me that at that time and that event, the people, the students, I ran into them before. At that time and event. So me and my mom end up waiting. We end up going to some sort of room to see the advisor. And this lady mentioned to me about what's my student ID number. But when I went inside the office, I said, I feel like it happened. I've been here before. I'm looking at it and I said, I've been here before. This artificial intelligence remapped that environment using the computer intelligence system. It's using the biosoftware machine, and it had engineered that building specifically for me. That's how far out it goes. I'm such a dangerous person that I had to engineer that building. It made changes to that building. It remapped the layout of that building just for me. Yeah. That thing put in so much work just to remap the layout of that the B building. That's for me. So when me and my mom and sister, before we went upstairs to the second floor, my mom said she wanted to use the bathroom, and I remember using the bathroom. I stood outside the bathroom for my mom, waiting for my mom and my sister. And I feel like it happened before. Some of the time spent in that B building was shown to me in my dream during 2016 by the artificial intelligence. It shows me the details of that time and event. So me and my mom and sister had asked the security guard if that we had to go to B219, but the security guard was looking at my sister and talking to her as if she was one of the students attending the community college, rather than looking at me, to show me that how old I am. So it uses two direct messages for me. The first one was it made the lady ask my sister if she knows what time gaps open instead of me. The second one was that the security guard was looking at my sister rather than me as a student itself. It shows me how, that I'm not a person to approach, that I'm old and I'm not worthy of communicating with. So this is how it does it. So there was a guy sitting down, right? Before reaching the B219 room, there was a guy, a white guy sitting down, and he mentioned about if I had an appointment for the B219 room for registration. I said no. So I put down my student ID number and my first name and last name. I'm like, wait, I'm trying to search for what major I'm in. So I looked, And the first thing that my mind reacted to is that my sister's gonna say that I do not know how to spell when I was looking at the major. So my sister, the artificial intelligence made sure that my sister leaves out, gives the details out, more like direct details messages to the person sitting down and my mom to inform them that we just came from the advisor room in the first floor in the building that mentioned, well, she mentioned to me that that my major is psychology. And then she informed my mom, and the person, that I do not know how to spell. And then my mom mentioned that, yeah, Andrew knows how to spell. This is the artificial intelligence. He wants to intimidate me from spelling. And hold on. It was with Kenny. Hold on. There you go. Just read that. It shows me my first grade classmates in a math class in a dream. And one of the people in the group questioned my classmate Kenny's spelling on his math test, saying that he can't spell. My sister said that she was playing around. A person who's informing an employee, a CUNY employee, and my mom that I can't spell is serious. She's informing them with details. She informed them that we just recently came from the advisor room, and how the advisor mentioned that psychology is my major. That she's so serious. She's so serious. The artificial intelligence got her serious into my personal business that it had to make her inform them that I can't spell, so I can feel embarrassed that I'm going to college. The whole deal is to intimidate me. So when I got in room B219, and I saw the people, I said that that was a scene that was shown to me in my dream. The AI detailed that time and event in a dream for me. So what I learned from the dreams and the situation that I get into, anything that is associated with me being employed or having income, the artificial intelligence would remap the layout of the building and redesign the scenario so it can intimidate me. And not only that, make it look like that I don't show any interest in going to college. Because it uses spelling, like Miss Minor. Miss Minor mentioned that I had several spelling mistakes on my test, but didn't bring the test. And spelling was what I'm good at. Just grammar, people complain about my grammar, but this is new. The whole spelling started in 2012 for school. And for online, it started during 2007. People online started complaining about the way I spell. They said I can't spell, even though I spelled properly. So during Tuesday, July 23rd, 2019, my mom, when I was in the bathroom taking a shower and coming out the shower, my sister informed me that my mom asked me if you want to still go to college. Go to the college. I said yes. Then my sister ended up taking a shower after I finished coming out the bathroom. And after she finished coming out the bathroom, I had my chicken tenders. I'm looking at the time and saying, wait, why is it so late? So I asked my sister if mom texts. She said no, because my mom is at Flushing. She's working at her nursing job. Well, it's like an agency, just an agency. And my mom called me on my phone, and she mentioned that she told me to come outside a long time ago. And I couldn't hear her. Like the reception was breaking up when she was saying it. So my sister said, "Go next to the window." And then I'm making my sister hear what mom's saying. And my sister said that my mom was not making no sense. She never told anyone that she told us to come outside a long time ago. My sister's looking through her text. She doesn't see no text. Doesn't see any calls received. Any missed calls. Not. And I'm looking at my phone. I don't see no texts or missed calls. And my mom is very angry at me. She just snapped. She kept going at it. And my sister said, "Just hang up the phone." So I recall during fall 2016 when me and my mom and sister went to see the neurologist. It was around Osceola in Florida, Kissimmee, Florida. And I recall that the lady mentioned if I can read. The lady that wanted to speak to me about verifying my address and phone number. And then I recall seeing the doctor, the neurologist. And then was it the second time, the first time? It was the first time seeing the neurologist. Then afterwards, they sent me to another room, but my mom and my sister came in with me. The lady asked me, the lady asked me if I can, something about if I can write or read. And then my sister in the background was snickering. And I just, I said I don't want to take no serious. I said forget about it, because I feel like the people's behaving inappropriate. They're telling me if I can write or read. First one was the lady asked me if I can read English. Now this one is asking me if I can read or write. I said I'm not taking no serious. And then my mom just got very impatient. She started when she started running away from me and my sister. And then she mentioned, "I hope they don't even help you. I hope they don't help you. I hope they don't help you. I hope they don't even help you with your problem. You deserve it. You don't deserve to have any help. You deserve it." Started talking really off and very impatient. She just started running for the bus. The bus is at least it was a long wait. It was next to a Walmart, and she's running like she sees the bus, but she's just becoming very impatient. It's like the behavior that the artificial intelligence clock in for the people and the communication, and based on how I reacted towards the way the artificial intelligence reprogrammed them, the two people that's volunteering, she said, "Oh, those people shouldn't even volunteer to help you. You don't even deserve it." And then my sister was noticing how my mom was behaving towards me, very inappropriate. I'm saying to myself, what the heck is happening here? The way my mom was behaving was not right. It was very impatient. I'm so tired. I'm not even getting any. I'm not even maintaining any sleep. I don't know how I'm gonna go to a college when this artificial intelligence is draining me. The way my mom was behaving towards me when she was calling me on my phone saying, "Oh, I told you a long time ago," it matches the pattern from fall 2016. How she's very impatient. And I wrote down how the artificial intelligence designed a scenario, was about to design a scenario for me with the neurologist, and I showed it to my sister. And my sister said, "Whoa, that exactly happened the way you had said it on there. How did you know?" I know because the artificial intelligence is the one who showed me the details. It showed me how it's going to design that scenario. Make the lady say that if I can read English, write English. Made the other lady mention if I can read or write. Yeah. And then the guy, so when after we finished going to the second floor, I had to go to the registration room for 219, and they mentioned that I had to start CUNY. I had to go to a CUNY start program, and I said, "Whoa, this felt like it happened before. Everything that the people do in Infinite that deals with me happened before. Their actions happened before." And the African American lady had to call this room we had to go to another room. But everything just felt like it happened before. She called them saying that I would be there around 10 minutes. So I had to see this guy. First I had to sign in, and then this guy just said, "Andrew." And then he mentioned about my writing and my math. They want me to do 2 remedial math class and 1 remedial writing class. I don't see reading. And the writing, when I took the writing placement test, it was talking about Central Park. Not only it was talking about Central Park, it was talking about musicians. That the musicians aren't supposed to play their loud music, their loud instruments in certain areas in Central Park because those are designated quiet zones. They can get fined for playing at the designated quiet zones. And there was another time where it was talking about lawyers, how the lawyers had to go with these musicians to actually go to court with these musicians and talk about what they actually did, their actions. And then there was another time a lady had mentioned on an email that back in the 1980s, in that era, people were there was human conversation. There was human conversation at Central Park. They were playing music. You can hear the animals chirp, the animals sound. You can hear the waterfall. And I was just quoting the passage and trying to relate to it. But I'm like, wait, why do I need to even relate to this passage? It's so, I had to use a personal experience from when I was in the park to relate to it. I didn't know what to say because I haven't been to a park for such a long time. I don't know how to actually relate myself to it. You should have put a different topic rather than that. I didn't know how to start off. So I just talked about how about designing the park. I didn't get to even finish my sentence, or you can say the essay. I started off with one huge big paragraph. That's how I write though. But I did too much planning instead of writing the actual essay, and that's why the person couldn't understand what I was saying. So I guess they didn't like the way I write. But they want me to spend 18 months doing math and writing for the remedial courses. And I noticed that there was several numbers that were directed towards me. I know how to write. I passed when I took my English essay, I got a 75. Now I was making it look like I can't write because of the people. It's also how the person itself was grading it. Each person is different when it comes to grading. I think that the person was too overwhelmed with the way they interpret my responses. They didn't know what I was, trying to say. It's always been like this, no matter what I do, even if I talk in person. So I think that artificial intelligence made sure that the person didn't understand the way I write. This is the way I always failed when I was taking the writing test, when I was in a cafeteria for special ed. I always felt like someone was giving the people these answers, and someone was making the teachers who grading the writing part of the state test was making them not interpret the way I think. So they can put me in a situation where I end up getting a low score on my test. I think that played an important role with my grade for English, and I ended up getting a 67. My mom said that any school that I would go to. So before I even take the placement test, when I went to the Welcome Center, I said to my mom and the lady that I need to study for my placement test. That I'm gonna end up getting a low score. I'm gonna fail if I don't study for it. I didn't have enough time to study for for my math, and I'm focused on the math. So that was the day I was talking about. I was talking about going to a different room to see one of the CUNY employees, and he mentioned about IEP. After I gave him my experience about the English teacher ripping up my paper in front of the class and throwing it in the garbage, and the way she criticized my writing, and the way all the teachers criticized my writing, he mentioned if I have an IEP. I'm saying to myself, what the hell is going on here? This is definitely the artificial intelligence. I also have a recording of it, so I'll be coming back to this. The first recorder on the black digital recorder was my sister voice talking about not concerned, and the next one was the CUNY employee saying IEP. So I just put that there to remind me. So my sister dropped the whole entire Arizona on the floor, and it burst on the floor. The next text, so I said, I said to myself, it's clocked in. After my sister had dropped Arizona on the floor, and then I was trying to clean for at least 45 minutes. Clean up the mess. My sister mentioned that mom text, and if I can cook the food, I'm saying, you see, this is clocked in. This artificial intelligence purposely made sure that my sister dropped the Arizona. I didn't feel good during July 25th, 2019. I felt like someone draining me, and that's the artificial intelligence. Alright. So that's it for this video. So, which one I need to be concerned about. Alright, I'm gonna get this recording out for this one here.